Hello everyone and welcome to the video lecture series of learning Python programming. So we are learning about object-oriented programming concepts in using Python. So in the previous video we are left out with this particular topic. We have discussed few of the basic terminologies related to object-oriented programming, and based on those we have tried to cover a particular program and a basic program, you can say, and where we have discussed this particular example. Okay, so here we have displayed the employee details, and for which we have created a class which is named as employee, and under that we have discussed one method under this class that is named as display employee. And in this entire process we have declared some of the instance variables, or you can say local variables, like name and salary, name of the employee and salary of the current of the employee. Okay, and but we directly didn't pass those two variables to this particular method. Rather we took the help of a special method, that is underscore underscore init underscore underscore. Okay, and there we have passed these variables. Why? Because if we want to access these variables not only in this particular method, or maybe some other methods also which is present inside this class, then every time we no need to declare this particular or you can say initialize these particular variables parameters again and again. Rather we can call these variables with the help of a special keyword which is known as special variable, which is known as self, through this special method. Okay, so then we created an object with a name as emp. You can write down any object variable name, and then in order to create a particular object, emp equals to employee, that is the class name, make it as a method, and under that you pass the parameters which you are taking the instance variables. Okay, and then you need to call the particular method under which you are going to print this particular statement, that is emp, by using their object name followed by dot operator, then the method name. That's it. So this is how the basic thing, object-oriented programming program we did it. Okay. Now we want to extend this particular program, and here I will show you the class variable as well, and also I will declare the finally the which is the class constructor over here. So in the previous program, in the previous video also, some or the other in any of the, like during the program, during the execution of the program, I have explained to you which is the class constructor, but still I will let you know which is the class constructor. Okay, now suppose in this employee I'm just trying to count the number of employees. Okay, so that for that, outside the main method, outside these methods, we are declaring a particular variable, say emp count. This is the variable name I have given, emp count, initialize with 0. Now this is the variable which is known as your class variable, as this is the variable which is declared outside the main method, outside the methods. Okay, now some or the other we can use this particular variable, this class variable, inside any of the method. For that I am just declaring one more method, say suppose def. Okay, and here I am just displaying the count. So display count is the method name, and here I am just passing what? Self. I don't need to use these variables again and again. I can directly use the self keyword, and through that I can access those variables, instance variables you can say. So here I can write down those instance variables. Okay, instance variables. So in this method, let us discuss what we can write it down. Display count. Okay, I need to count the number of employees. So for that, print, I'm just directly printing. So I'm just writing the total count of the employee is. Now how to count the total number of employee? So directly what we can do, I can directly write down as is, because that count will be an integer, so I am writing down as %d. So my data type is done. For that I need to call that particular class variable. For that I need to use the help of class name. Okay, class name is what? Employee. Sorry, employee dot that in class variable. What is that class variable? The class variable is let me extend this so that okay, employee dot, what is that class variable? Class variable is emp count. That's it. Okay, now for this here I have missed one thing. Here we have to use a percentage that will address this particular class variable for addressing the class variable. Then now I have created this object. Now I will create one more object. Okay, let it be emp1. Okay, and I will create the same thing. I will take one more. I will just copy and paste it. I will make it as emp2. Now here in employee, here what we need to do is that I just need to use a particular count value. Okay. Okay, so I can just name this as say suppose money. Okay, and here I am just writing down as 30,000. Okay, now display employee. Now here what I can do is the total number of counts I want. So number of employees I have taken as 2. So let me take emp1, emp2 I have taken. So 2 objects I have taken. Now I will just again use this print, and here I am writing the same statement. Besides taking this function, I'm just sorry, this one, display count. You can use emp2 dot display count. That also you can do it, but I'm just taking and printing this particular statement over here. Okay, now let me run this and let me check it out. Total count for the employee is 0. It's coming as 0. So let me check where I made the mistake. Okay, so maybe because here it is taking the here it is taking the total count of the employee as 0, because it is not taking as a self loop. Okay, it is not incrementing. So what I can do is that in this particular initial part where I have constructed this particular employee emp count, here I can increase it. So how? Employee dot emp count. Okay, and here I can write down plus equals 1. So if I run it now, let me check it out, it's working or not. Yes, it's coming as 2. Okay, so as soon as I call this particular employee dot emp count, so it will take this class variable emp equals to 0. So first it will check that object 1 how many it is, how many number of employees it is displaying. This object 1 is displaying 1 employee, and again object 2 is displaying again the second employee. So that's why this special method will increment. First it is 0, then again it will take for 2 objects. So for 2 objects it will display as 2. Now if we increase this, if we don't write like this, statement, so I'm just putting as a hash. So I'm just we can also write like this, that emp1 dot display count. Okay, let me run the code. Then also it will display. So besides writing like this, you can also take any of this object and then call this particular method. Then it will display the number of count. Okay. Why this is working as as 0, then it is incrementing like this? It is based on the number of objects that we are declaring, and along with that, here this employee dot emp count, it will directly this is addressing this emp count, right? This emp count is nothing but the class variable which is defined outside the main method. So that means this is the class variable, and here this particular method, special method, is known as your class constructor. Okay, this is known as your class constructor. So I hope it is clear to everyone that how we have tried to execute it and getting an output like this. Okay, we are using more than 2 methods, and we are using the particular like the concept of counting the number of employees and also displaying the employee name and the salary structure. Okay, so now let us go with another concept, and that is a constructor and destructor. Okay, so let us check it out. What is mean by a constructor? What is mean by a destructor? So let me take one more file. Yeah. So let me save it as constructor.py. Okay, now what is mean by constructor? First of all, we will check it out. What is the meaning of a constructor? Mainly, if we have any kind of special function, just now we have dealt with underscore underscore in it, right? So basically, this is the, like you can say, a basic phrase of a constructor, that any class function or any class method that begins with double underscore are called special functions, as they have some special meaning, as I've already told you, right? The first method that is we dealt with, that is your underscore underscore init underscore underscore, is a special method which is called as a class constructor, or also we say as a initialization method. Okay, so that means underscore underscore init, okay, underscore underscore is what is a class constructor or initialization method. Okay, this is the terminology that Python generally calls when you create a new instance of this particular class. Okay, and there is no need to explicitly call the constructor. It gets automatically called when the instance of that particular class is created. That's the definition of constructor. Though this is like whole and soul, we can note it down as a point or definition. That means we can say that this is the definition, that there is no need to explicitly call the constructor. It gets automatically called when the instance of the class is created. So that's why it is said to be a constructor. So let me take an example so that it will be much clear to everyone. So let me take a simple example, which is like a universal example, you can say, which we generally take to explain. I'm just trying to use or you can say I'm just trying to create a particular a point. Okay, so let's say suppose the function, the class name is point. Okay, and there I'm just defining the special method, that is the constructor. Okay, and here I'm just passing as the self keyword definitely, and two parameters I will pass, x and y. Just like you can say point system. See, one more beautiful thing that you can check it out here. I have completed this particular function, and I forgot to use the colon. Then automatically as soon as you press enter, it will take the colon and it will automatically take the indentation part also. Okay, and here you need to initialize the variable x equals to x. This is how you initialize self dot y is equals to y. Done. Now I'm just defining, I'm just creating a particular object. Say suppose pt1 is equals to, how to create an object that you already I have taught you. Okay, and then I want to create one more object. Say suppose pt2. There is a beautiful thing to create multiple number of objects simply by assigning to the previous object which you have once you have created. So pt1 is equals to point. That is how you created the object, that is pt1. Now if you want to create pt2, just simply equalize with pt1. Done. So pt2 will be created. Similarly, if you want to create pt3, say pt2. That's it. You have to initialize, or you have to assign to the to the pt1. Sorry, the initial object that you have created. There you have to initialize it. Clear? Then we can move now. We are done with this particular creation. Now I'm simply printing like this id of pt1 comma id of pt2 comma id of pt3. Okay, then nothing to do it. Yeah. So as soon as you run it, let me check it out what is coming out. Missing two required two required positional arguments. So here I have to say suppose this is x comma y, or here I can write down as x equals to 0, y is equals to 0. Sorry. So this is just a you can say the point, this x and y as taken as the memory locations, like this one 294956872, and as I have taken the IDs of these particular point objects. So these are the you can say the points that they have taken. Okay, so here 3 points I have taken, so IDs are coming as same.